Hey everybody, what's up? It's Dunbar Snack Bar here with my very first Dynasty game of NCAA football 2012. Now, you guys have known that I was going to be playing as the Nebraska Cornhuskers for this year simply because, well, one, I'm from Nebraska, so of course Nebraska is my favorite team, but also because there's a lot of changes taking place with Nebraska, this being their very first year in the Big Ten Conference. So I'm going to be going up against some teams that I have never ever played against as with Nebraska, and I think that's just going to be a lot of fun. Now, I did have to make a couple changes to the Dynasty here, just for personal preference, because for the very first week I was supposed to go up against a Division II school, and I decided not to go ahead and do that simply because the first weeks of football for a lot of the bigger teams is going up against some of the smaller teams just to kind of get themselves put together, find out what works and things like that. And so I kind of wanted to go up against a team that was a little bit better, still something that might be a little bit of a breeze to get through, but it kind of looks better on the schedule. So that way at the end of the year, if the BCS is kind of close, then that's something that goes up for me anyway and gives me a little bit of an advantage. So I'll be going up against Troy in this game. I will be at home, of course, here at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska. And I think that for this game here, it's really going to be just experimenting with some different types of football, see what works, see which players have certain strengths, and we'll kind of go from there. Now, Troy is actually a pretty decent team. They had a couple of big wins in the last few seasons, and so I'm not thinking that this is going to be a cakewalk necessarily, but I do feel pretty confident that I'm going to come away with a big win in this one. So we'll see how Taylor Martinez is in the game. He did have some problems with inconsistency last year, so we'll see if that is something that kind of holds true in the game here. Now, Rex Burkhead, who is my running back, he's going to be a big part of my team this year. With the level that I'm playing on, I'm going to start off here on All-American. It kind of is a little bit more difficult, of course, to be able to do some running. So I'm going to look for Rex Burkhead to be my running back here in some situations where I kind of need to throw off the defense. Now, I do like to throw to the tight ends quite a bit, so you'll probably see a little bit of that here in this game. I mean, you did just see one throw to Cotton, my tight end, and I'm going to go to him again down the middle. And it seems like that throwing up the middle has become a lot easier with NCAA 2012, and I'm inching my way here even closer towards the goal line. Going to throw it outside to Rex Burkhead, who's going to get in for the first touchdown of the year and the first touchdown of the game here. So early on, I'm up 7-0. I was kind of expecting to be able to score on my first drive. Really not too much time has come off of the clock, but we'll see what Nebraska's defense can do against Troy. Like I said, I mean, Troy can put some good games together. They have been improving very much over the last few years. So I'm not expecting this to be like a shutout or anything like that. So, but they're going to go ahead and fumble it here. Cassidy's going to pick it up. So on the first drive for Troy, they're going to go ahead and fumble the ball. So I'll see if I can score off of that turnover here as well. And I'm definitely going to look and see for this season if I can have a pretty good turnover differential. You know, obviously having a lot more turnovers from the other team than what I give up. So passing definitely does not seem to be a problem here, which you've been seeing so far early on. Rex Burkhead's doing a great job here with that throw to the left part of the field. I'm going to go ahead and try and see if I can do anything here on a little screenplay here to Rex Burkhead. Great job by the O-line to get in front of him, put some blocks. That's another touchdown. So quick touchdowns in succession of each other, and that's definitely something that I like to see. It seems like my style of gameplay so far in this game has been working out really well. You know, get some good passes downfield and then maybe throw something a little bit short, or starting to just throw a few short passes here and there. Definitely seems to be absolutely no problem for the offense here as well. We'll see if Troy can put something together here as well. Great run to be able to just get a little bit on there. And it seems like that Troy really can't put too much together here on this one. That was a good 6-yard pass here, but not enough to be able to get the first down. So we're going to be looking at a 4th down here for Troy's offense. And I do believe that they're going to punt in this situation, which I can definitely understand when you're that far down the field. Johnson is injured on that one, but we'll see him here a little bit later. Now, I'll get 5 yards off of an offsides penalty here for Troy, and I'm going to throw it here to my wide receiver to get some big yardage here. And it seems like that the secondary of Troy is struggling against my wide receivers, so I'll probably try to continue to pick them off. just to see how well they do here against this team here. And for the few weeks, like I said, what teams normally do is they kind of play against some teams just to kind of adapt their team to how the different players are. Troy's going to get the sack here with some big yards lost here on that one. Nobody even really blocked them, but that's all right. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can kick the long field goal to at least get some points on the board, and that is going to give me 3 more points here, so it is 17-0 here as we have reached the very early portions of the second quarter. Now, like I was saying here, for the first few weeks, I'm definitely going to be experimenting with some things here. So what works today in this game may not work in the next game, and I might change things up here a little bit just to try and see if I can find something that consistently works game in and game out. And that's one of the things I like about Nebraska's offense is their flexibility in a number of situations here. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get the ball back. Good run for Rex Burkhead to get 6 yards on that. And Burkhead has done a good job of getting some good yards. Of course, just like any other team, there have been some good stops as well. But Burkhead has a pretty good average right now for running here. Now, Cotton, my tight end, is leading the team right now with yards of receiving. And it seems like just throwing it up the middle to him is something that's working pretty well. Troy really isn't covering him too much. Another sack for me here coming off from the outside here. And so offensive line kind of needs to step up a little bit. They could have stopped him here on that one. It is 2nd and 20, so of course I'm going to be going with something with a long pass to see if I can get any kind of yards, but I end up with an interception, so that's Taylor Martinez's first of the year, first of the game here as well. So turnover differential right now sitting at 0 since I've gotten a turnover off of their fumble, and now they've gotten a turnover off of that interception. So maybe they'll be able to put something together and get on the board here in this one as we're kind of halfway through the second quarter now. So this run, they're going to get some good yards on that one, almost 10. They're going to be sitting at 2nd and inches. They're going to go try and run it again, and I'm going to stop them short. So here they are at 3rd down, still with 3rd and inches. Black shirts are going to come up, and they're going to be able to get the stop here for a loss of about 4 on that one. So Troy is going to have to punt on this one here, but they're going to actually fake it. I forgot that was in here. They're not going to be able to convert on that 4th down. So I'm going to get the ball back in pretty good field position with about a little less than 2:15 left in the quarter here and the half as well. So I've got some time to be able to string something together, expand my lead a little bit here as well. We've got 3rd and 2, and Burkhead is going to break through to be able to get the first down here on this. So you can see I'm going with that 4 verticals play, which has worked so well for me in this game. I'm going to throw it and get another touchdown. So we're going to be looking at 24-0 here as time starts to tick down before we get to the end of the half and we get into halftime. So Huskers are definitely doing a great job being able to string some offense together, being able to stop Troy as well. Wasn't expecting it to be this one-sided early on in the game here, but I'll definitely take it. Still going to look good for at least some statistics for me personally here. See if I can do anything to try and help the team out. So Troy's going to turn it over here. They're through a number of passing plays, and those passing plays didn't really take too much time off of the clock. So they ended up going 3 and out, which means I've got an opportunity here to kind of put some more points on the board here. You can see the time really starting to tick down now. We're under a minute at about 35 seconds here now. Martinez is going to throw it. Some more yardage on those long passes. That's something that's definitely working for me, and I'm usually not used to throwing such long passes. Touchdown, though, on this one for another long pass into the end zone. I guess I wouldn't call that a long pass. I got about mid-range on that one, but that's okay. Expanding the lead here even more. I think I'm going to get to the point in just a little bit where I'll probably put in all of my second stringers here. So Troy's going to try and see if they can score with about 20 seconds left in the half. They're going to be going with mostly passing, so that's kind of what I'm going to prepare myself for. Good job to be able to get that catch and to be able to kind of get out of bounds there. But not too much is going to happen here. It's going to end 31-0 here for the half. And I think so far what I've been doing has been working great. You're not going to see too many changes from me here in the second half on the offensive side of things or the defensive side of things. I really can't complain about anything too far or anything so far absolutely surprised, though, of the score. Troy is a pretty decent team, so wasn't expecting it to be 31-0 here at this point. So might try and slow things down a little bit. But the way that the defense has been going, getting a lot of 3-and-outs like you just saw here, and being able to do a great job of really stopping their run and forcing them to pass, where I definitely feel that I have the advantage when it comes to the secondary, is something that's been working pretty well so far. So they're, of course, going to punt here again, and Taylor Martinez is going to have a chance to be able to put some more things together. Another throw to Cotton up the middle. Seems to be working so well this game. I'm going to keep trying that, see if I can continue to rack up some yards. So Martinez with plenty of time in the pocket is going to throw it deep. That's another touchdown pass for Taylor Martinez. Absolutely destroying Troy. This is kind of embarrassing here. I'm absolutely surprised I'm having this kind of success. I can't say that enough, just how surprised I am. And I'm pretty excited at this point here. So Troy going to try something. Crick is going to end up with a sack here on this one to have them lose 7 yards. So you're going to be looking at 2nd and 17. And I'm going to be set up here for a passing play for the defense. And that stopped him. And next play stopped him as well. So another 3-and-out. And that seems to be the story for Troy's offense so far, is just 3-and-out. Not be able to produce too much offensively. Cotton with another reception to be able to get some additional yards. He definitely has to be getting close to a record. I mean, as much as I'm throwing to him and the kind of yards that he's getting, he's got to be close to some kind of school record. And there it is. So he's got 177 yards so far, breaking the school record by about 10. That's absolutely crazy to see out of a tight end. And I decided to go with the reverse on this one to be able to get the touchdown here. So 45-0 here, as we're a little bit past the halfway point of the third quarter. So I do tend to go to my tight ends quite a bit, but I haven't really gone too much to a tight end like this before. You've probably seen with some of my viewer request games, I find my tight ends pretty often. But when you get this kind of success out of one particular receiver, I don't see how you can help but to go to him time and time again. It's been working pretty well so far. So I'm going to get the interception here with David, who's going to get a lot of yards back on that one here. So defense is definitely continuing to do their job. I was starting to worry a little bit because Troy did have a pretty good series going right there of just inching their way towards the first down marker on a number of plays. Like, it wasn't just one big one necessarily. It was just, hey, here's 3 yards, here's 4 yards. And so to be able to stop them with an interception there kind of really, really changed the momentum of things. Momentum is 100% in my favor. Martinez is doing a great job. So is Rex Burkhead of getting a number of runs for good gains like you just saw right there with him running on the outside. So here we are, fourth quarter. Time's really starting to tick down here. I'm surprised I haven't put in the second stringers. I probably should have done that already. But on this play, it was pretty close, and the officials decided to review it. I wasn't going to make a big deal out of it because they're looking at the spot of where the tackle was, see if I got across the first down marker, because it would have ended up being a fourth down. I would have had to kick a field goal. And like I said, I really wasn't going to do anything about it. I mean, I knew it was close, but I wasn't going to throw the red flag or anything like that and try and go for a review. But ends up that the call was changed, and it was overturned, and I've got first down here. So I got a couple runs, didn't get too much out of it here, but I'm going to throw it to Burkhead again with the screen, and he is going to fall into the end zone for another touchdown. So the screen's been pretty effective here, especially when I'm in the red zone, and Burkhead's done a great job of being able to push his way into the end zone. And really the whole game, Rex Burkhead has done a great job of every time he gets hit to kind of fall ahead for a couple more yards. So I'm going to go ahead with one more interception. Bell's going to do a great job of being able to return this. I do have the second stringers in, and he's going to fight to get into the end zone. That was actually pretty awesome that, as far back as he was hit, he was able to drag the defender, I guess at this point here, to be able to get over that goal line. So I do have the second stringers in, so that's awesome that on the first drive of having the second stringers in, I'm able to get that touchdown here from my defense. So both sides of the ball are playing really well. So we'll see if the second string defense can, hold Troy here a little bit more. But the way that it's looking here right now, Troy's doing a great job of being able to get pass after pass after pass. And so I can start to see that the advantage that I had with my secondary before is kind of gone. And I'm trying to do what I can to adapt to it here. I had been running man for a lot of the game, and I continue to do it here a little bit, just hoping things might turn around. But didn't switch to the zone. And Troy is going to get their first touchdown of the game here. And they've done a pretty good job here on this drive. And I would say that at this point, they've definitely earned that touchdown, especially on that drive. Doing a great job. There was really absolutely nothing that I could do to be able to stop them here at this point. But game kind of is out of reach. We'll go ahead and say that already, as we are looking at 59-6 here in the fourth quarter. So they're going to go for an onside kick, which I think is absolutely ridiculous to do. But whatever. They get it. I really wasn't prepared for it. I was in a typical kickoff return, so I didn't have my best hands there up on the line. But that's okay. We'll see if I can go ahead and stop them here and see if I can switch things around. I went ahead and I put my defense back in simply because the way that it was going and as many yards as they got through the air, that I go ahead and put the first team defense in here for just a little bit, because I want to be able to have those statistics to be able to say, hey, best defense of the nation, or at least to have a high ranking on the defensive side of things. So I thought I'd change it up, put the first string back in so that we can keep it going. And Santos is going to be able to get the interception there. Gets a lot of yards back on that one too. So that sets me up to be in a position to be able to end the game here. So with it being the fourth quarter, you guys know I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to run the clock out here as best as I can here. I still have the second string offense in as well. So that's why you're not seeing Rex Burkhead run. But Jones is still doing a great job being able to pick up some yards. And I'm really liking how the second team offense is looking too. More often than not, it seems like my players get injured pretty quickly towards the beginning part of the year. Long is not dropping to the ground at all. A lot of missed tackles on that one. This was absolutely phenomenal though. But the way that the second string offense is looking, that if one of my offensive players get injured, I think I'm going to be okay. Got a lot of depth on the offensive side of things. So I know, here we go, with a little bit of time left, I decided to go with the jerk move and try and score a little bit here to be able to increase the lead as the seconds ran off here for the end of the game. Nebraska is going to come away with the win. I really actually kind of regret going for the touchdown there at the end. I should have done the honorable thing and let the time run down. So I end up coming away with the win 66-7. Shouldn't have been that high, but that's how much it was. Really nothing Troy could do to be able to stop me on this one. So things are looking pretty good for the Huskers. First few weeks is going to be, I think, some pretty high-scoring games, just as I'm going up against teams that aren't at the same caliber as Nebraska. And I don't mean that against any of the teams that I go up against, but I'm just saying that EA Sports didn't rank them as high, nor did they give them as high of attributes. So we'll take a look and see what happens here as I make some adjustments, of course, as I go into the next game to see if I can perform a little bit better, because I did see some areas of improvement, and I know that I won't be able to throw the ball down the field like I did a lot in this game. So expect to see another Nebraska game next week as I go up against Fresno State. Should be a fun game here. And I appreciate you guys watching. Feel free to subscribe if you guys haven't already. Follow me on Twitter at Dunbar Snack Bar, or you can go to my Facebook page to see some regular updates about things and get some news here and know when I post something here on YouTube. Appreciate you guys watching as always. It means a lot to me. Thank you again. And as always, I hope you guys have a good one.